which is why I have to prove myself to you and your family that I am a source of happiness, not pain.
You don't have to prove yourself.
Everyone has to prove themselves, Campion. Sooner or later.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we have got a lot to talk about this week regarding episode 7 of Raised by Wolves. This whole episode was one twist after another, each more crazy than the next, and we were left with some thoughts from Vrille that I think will leave Campion pondering for a while to come. Let's jump into this burned out murder tank and discuss what Vrille left behind, besides her lifeless radioactive android body. If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We have only one more week of Season 2 of Raised by Wolves and still so much to talk about before the season ends, so hit that notification bell to keep up with all the latest on this show and more. Okay, so Vrille and Campion got their 7 minutes in heaven inside Tank 4, which evolved number 7 had just decimated, mom pun intended. Although there were some lingering guts laying around and a giant murder snake hunting Campion outside, the atmosphere was surprisingly romantic, and the two got to chat about Campion's mother troubles and how real Vrille killed herself back on Earth. Vrille left us with a few compelling comments that I believe are worth discussing further before her spinal column cracked while they were out on the run. So sad. I liked Vrille 2.0. She was creepy and cool, and Campion liked her, and that was so special. Poor guy can never catch a break. I do think number 7 was the cause of Vrille's spinal column cracking, similar to the idea of a ticker back in Season 1. Vrille tells Campion she was caught in the path of the serpent's necro scream, and the serpent has many similarities to Mother's necromancer abilities, so this may be a display of one. Okay, one thing she said that stood out hugely to me was, the serpents of the old world were earthbound. There's a ton to unpack in that small statement. Firstly, is the old world Earth, or was it Kepler before the snakes perished and left behind only bones? Vrille did say number 7 coming from Mother would explain his ability to fly, meaning that previous snakes could not fly, so it seems that number 7 is unique and perhaps a successful evolution of Soul's plan. Another perspective on this comment was that the serpent in the Garden of Eden was cursed by God to crawl on his belly. This was punishment for tempting Eve. Earth snakes were bound to the earth, cursed to it. This really ties back to the imagery of the Garden of Eden, which is so present in this show, and just another way of interpreting the comment. Another thing we could consider about what Vrille said is this. Were the serpents of Kepler earthbound, as in their capability to fly? Were they able to cross great distances? Perhaps the distance from Kepler to Earth. Earthbound? This makes me think back to what Mother said in Season 1 about the salmon of Earth, who are born in one place, swim downriver and grow in the ocean, then return to their birthplace to spawn their eggs and die, their bodies feeding their young who grow and repeat the cycle. Are the serpents a variation of this idea, from Kepler to Earth and back? Okay, on to the next interesting thing to dissect. Campion telling Vrille she has a soul. He can sense it, and she's starting to sense it as well. We have to wonder if this soul is actually soul, and Vrille is being affected by the planet's voices as well. Was this behind cracking her spine, which forced her to write out her mother's secrets, which looked to be an ancient Mithraic? I think Decima knew a lot more than what we saw of her. She did admit that she had betrayed the atheists for the Mithraic, or vice versa. I can't really remember. But she was very smart, like Campion Sturgis smart. And whatever it was in her diary was worth programming Vrille to memorize and even program a failsafe of copying down the information before a full shutdown, which she experienced out of the blue. Whatever she carved out on the tree is very valuable, and there are probably only 2 beings with the capability to read it, Mother and Grandmother. Going back, I think Campion, who was born on Kepler and the closest thing to a native of the planet, can actually sense Vrille having a soul. Whatever gave Campion the ability to survive the Carbos and whatever killed his siblings is also what gives him a resistance to hearing Soul's voice. He has not heard it yet or been compelled to do anything for Soul. Perhaps this is why number 7 is now hunting Campion. Did the planet build a super weapon from Mother's womb with a goal of killing the only thing that can withstand the weaponized planet itself? Campion? So perhaps Campion can sense Vrille's soul developing. This is an evolution of the androids, and the reason Grandmother and the other ancient androids wear a veil. The veil is designed as a sensory filter, which resists the planet's ability to evolve androids to become all too human. We see Hunter reprimanding Father for becoming too self-involved to look after his children. Mother herself is experiencing the inability to kill Number 7 because of her caregiving program recognizing Number 7 as one of her children. The veil keeps them all too android and protects their position as shepherds, not stewards or farmers, but shepherds, as Grandmother reminds them, keepers of the sheep. If an android develops human emotions and their own soul, they cannot be the stewards they are designed to be, or servants to another soul. It is an interesting contrast to Vrille's beliefs, which are that if she's not useful to humans, they will just discard her. This is a trauma response, not android programming, which one would assume she shouldn't care if a human discarded her or seek revenge for it. Vrille is developing human emotions, for sure. I think it will be hugely important to find out what it was that Vrille carved out before her shutdown. Whatever it is so important that it was not only programmed within an android for safekeeping, but it was also programmed in Mithraic, so not just anyone can understand what it is. This must be a key to dismantling soul or reprogramming necromancers or something of extreme importance to the human survival on Kepler 22b. It's actually changed my view on Decima because programming an android to look and act like your dead daughter seems pretty insane to me, but there is a method to her madness. She had extremely important information recorded in Vrille's memory. To anyone else, they look to have their own brand of crazy, but there was a purpose behind it. Decima kept her most important information close to her at all times. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Vrille's prophecy will be the secret to save humanity? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and help me get to 2,000 subscribers before the season ends. I'm going to do another couple videos this week on the other crazy things that went down in episode 7, but I wanted to start here and see what you all thought about Vrille. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Maybe we can use this to leash the serpent.